Hermey does not like to make toys. I'm referencing a line from the Rudolph animated TV show that goes back 60 years or so. And I loved it as a kid, and then as the years gone by, even recently, I've started to see there's some deep themes in there beyond Burl Ives' beautiful singing and a great story. There are really some deep themes that relate to emotional distress and purpose, the things that I've talked about and work on so much in my life. And I wanted to share those because it's uncanny how some of them came out and hit home recently. And I just want to I'll intersperse the story of Hermey, Rudolph, from that story, and my work, and how it kind of goes full circle in a lot of ways. And Hermey is this elf who says, Hermey doesn't like to make toys. Hermey says, I want to be a dentist. Okay, that's what he wants to be. And all the other elves start to speak among themselves. Hermey doesn't like to make toys. Hermey doesn't like to make toys. And what happens is they start to ostracize Hermey. And Hermey, what is Hermey's big sin? He wants to be what he wants to be. He wants to be himself. And the other elves bully and ultimately ostracize Hermey because Hermey doesn't like to make toys. And Hermey ends up with Rudolph and a guy named Yukon Cornelius, and they even go to the land of misfit toys, because the key is these people don't fit in, and yet they're innocent. They may have been born a little differently, but they're doing no harm to society, and society cannot deal with them. It pushes them away. It's kind of like some of my work with emotional distress and how people grapple with the innocent. So a key point in all this for me, and how I tie this in with Gentle Genius and Purpose, is through this all, Hermey does not ever veer from wanting to be a dentist. The hardships, the challenges, being out, they're on literally thin ice with Cornelius, chopping his thing, the ice floats over an iceberg, whatever. Hermey remains true, as do Rudolph and Cornelius. He remains true to himself. And that's an enormously inspiring story for me of someone who keeps to their principle. There's a key point at the very end I'm going to share that I love the most, which is kind of really ties in with my work. Anyway, they're out there and they encounter the abominable snowman, and Hermey comes to the rescue because at one point Cornelius is a rogue. They push him off, and Hermey performs a scenario where he gets some large pliers or something, pulls the abominable's teeth out, and the abominable becomes friendly at that point. So his dentistry skills come in. And what I'm getting at is at the very end, they come back in, they're celebrating the holiday, Christmas. The abominable puts the star on top of the Christmas tree and all this kind of thing. And the taskmaster elf, the lead elf, comes over to Hermey and starts talking and maybe making up with him a little bit. I forget that part of it. And he's talking, and all of a sudden Hermey says, wait a minute, you've got a cavity. You need to come into my office. I'll see you on Tuesday, or something to that effect. And that's the beauty of this story to me. So not only does Hermey stay true to himself, but at the end of the day, he does a healing role for the very ones who kicked him out. And that's what I'm getting at with my work with the tort for the tort for the intentional infliction of emotional distress. Our court system in some ways is in pain. There are people in pain who inflict their emotional turmoil on other people. And this work that I'm doing, for the tort, advancing an understanding of emotional abuse, of helping our courts, encouraging, urging, helping our courts see things more accurately and fairly, as I believe understanding emotional, I don't know anything, but I know understanding emotional distress will help them do. It's ultimately a healing kind of thing. It's like Hermey at the end. It's saying to these courts, come into my office on Tuesday. Maybe not literally into my office, but come. You've got a pain there. You've got a cavity, in a tooth sense. There's a challenge there. Let's heal it. Let's get you repaired. And I'm sharing this because that's ultimately the sense of what my work is about. It's about healing. It's about repair. I've gone through the struggles and challenges like Hermey, the ostracizing, and to bring it full circle to the sense that we can repair things, and that's the ultimate. We talk about intentional infliction of emotion. My intention is repair through all the pains and struggles of that. So I also share this work through Gentle Genius Coaching, for companies, families, and individuals to teach people, others as well, to take a stand appropriately, assertively for companies, and so that you can, when dealing with it, how to transform a tough situation, so that not only are you taking a stand for yourself, but that your better intentions come out. And like me, you, and Hermey, or you, me, and Hermey, we can heal situations. We can lift up. Check out our website. Thank you.